Lou Covey and Craig Mosier back with Lou and Craig Go to the Ballot Box and California Proposition 37, mandatory labeling of genetically engineered food. Craig?
Well, the problem with that is, if you think that labeling genetically engineered food is a good idea, this law has so many exceptions built into it that it's difficult to see that it will affect very much. There's a big list of exceptions in here. If, on the other hand, you're familiar with the sciences...
Before you go on with that, let's talk about what some of those exceptions are.
Must we?
Yes.
All right, fine, go ahead.
Well, one of them is that, let's say you are a farmer and you have a genetically engineered food, and you take it to a farmer's market.
Then you don't have to label anything and you can just sell it.
Yep.
Which I'm sure the people at the farmers markets, who are probably more interested in this topic than many others, I'm sure that's not what they had in mind here.
And in Redwood City, where we have, let's say, 1, 2, 3 farmers markets every week, this is a big deal.
That's only one of the exceptions. There are a bunch of others as well. If something is sold for immediate consumption in a restaurant or as an ingredient in an alcoholic beverage, it's exempt. Well, we're pretty soon the exemptions add up, and we start to wonder, with the two of us wondering, exactly what's going to actually be covered by this, because so many things are exempt.
Well, so, like certified organic food unintentionally produced with genetically engineered material.
So which means we're going to have the courts deciding if there was intentional production or not.
Yeah.
Because there'll be court cases about that, there'll be lawsuits about that. So it strikes me that this law may have been a good idea if you supported the main idea. And now, who knows if this is actually useful. It's muddled. It's, again, another case, shocking, of a bad ballot prop, written in such a way to create more problems than it addresses. Now, if you don't necessarily think that labeling genetically engineered foods makes any sense, then you have a pretty easy decision on this. Just say no. But and scientists out there may want to weigh in on this. My take is that no matter what your position, this law is badly written.
Yeah.
Now,
so are you going to vote for it?
Yes, and here's why. I'm going to vote for it in part as to be true to my liberal nature. Who do I trust? Liberals and conservatives both have trust issues, but they have them with different groups.
Yeah.
Right. So who is supporting this? I'm going to check my notes here. Who is supporting this? Well, several different groups that are supporting organic foods mostly. Who hates this? Who opposes this? DuPont, Pepsi, Coke, Nestle, ConAgra, General Mills, and a large number of others, principally big agribusiness, opposes this because it will cause them to go to an additional step, and it will unveil to the public how much of their food is genetically modified. Now, on the face of it, I don't necessarily want to agree with big agribusiness on this one. So again, I'm reserving the right to change my mind as I think further about this, but my temptation looking to see who's paying for this is, who's paying for the opposition is, I want to vote yes. I've always held a grudge against Nestle. What was the advertisement when we were a kid, Lou? What was it?
Nestle's makes the very best.
And then you grow up and you find out that that's simply not true. That is not the very best chocolate. So, I'm going to get back at Nestle for this. Also, it's very difficult for me to vote with Pepsi and Coke on anything for any reason. Yeah.
Well, to go along with that, when you talk about people who are against this idea, we have Dr. Bob Goldberg, the member of the National Academy of Sciences, Jamie Johansson, a family farmer in California, not big agra, Betty Jo Tocoli, who is the president of the California Small Business Association, and Tom Hudson, the executive director of the California Taxpayer Protection Committee.
Wait, why he's involved, I'm not sure, but okay, move along.
Yeah, but when it comes down to it, if you're going to take a look at the people who are against something like this and you want to be with them, those are the kind of people that I go along with. So I'm voting no on this because I don't want to be taken in by the communist agenda.
And I'm voting yes on this because Lou trusts his family's health to Pepsi.
No, we're a Coke family.
Say no more.
All right.